Everybody out from Boston here. It is 5:30 Eastern Standard Time. I wanted to talk about bracketing real quick. Got a bunch of messages regarding bracketing out of the blue. I think it probably has something to do with Blue had a post or something, a video about it. So I want to talk to you about my thesis and just lay it out very clearly to what is my belief and what's going to happen. All right. My thesis is that there's enough naked shorts, enough synthetics out there that to buy back, and it has the potential to go to a minimum of 100,000 and to $1 million plus. All right, that's what my belief is. Okay, that is my bracket, somewhere in that range. Okay, my disclaimer is this: I don't know how and when, if it's going to ever get there or not. Okay, whatever your bracket is your business, nobody else's. Right? I'm going to play it by ear. I'm going to feel out things, and as it goes, see how much turbulence we have, how much velocity we have to get to the numbers that we're at. And I want to see, I'm going to look for a couple things. I want you to be aware of the same things. First thing is government interference through executive order. PPT, the plunge protection team, and Gary and Powell sitting down with Biden and having some executive order, right? That's what I'm afraid of, that government interference, or brokers fucking around, right? Brokers. We know that we're going to have trade halts. We know about these. We were very convinced of that, and how those people are going to paper hand. Those people who haven't watched my videos, who don't know about the trade halts, about between 2 and 30, are going to absolutely just, paper hand right then and there. They want to get out. I understand that. Good on you, right? My thing is this, right? I'm not going to sit around and wait for government to do this. I'm going to sit back. I'm going to watch it. I'm going to keep my head on a swivel. I'm going to be dynamic. I'm going to be watching the price. And if it gets to 50,000, 100,000, great. That's a milestone. And I'm going to be keeping an eye on the price after that. I'm going to mark by price. I'm going to look at some of the other level 2 data, even though it's corrupt. I want to see what's happening. I'm hoping of this. This is my hope. After the majority of the hedge funds, in fact, I would say 100% of the hedge funds are whacked out. They're gone. It's just us and Citadel, the market maker, and the brokers, and the government. So those three, there's a 3-person like uneven trinity: the government, Citadel, the market maker, and the brokers. Right? The brokers and how much money they have is an issue. Executive orders are an issue, and of course, the folks over at Citadel as the market maker is going to be an issue. All right. I want you guys to be aware of that. This is an actual thing, and be cognizant of it. I don't know where it's going to go. I don't know how we're going to get there. I don't know how long it's going to get there. I don't know a lot of things about this. So what I'm saying is use your own, your own due diligence. You should have been doing it for the last 11 months. Since you got into this play, there's plenty of content. You should be calling and researching and asking people, because there's always that phrase that gets thrown around. What is realistic? Here's the thing. We don't know. We don't know what is realistic in this, because nobody's ever been here. Nobody has ever thought about getting into a squeeze play like this at the velocity and all the actors involved and everything else. Nobody's ever been here. We're breaking new ground. There's never been a squeeze like this. I've researched it. There's nothing like this. So what are we going to do? What is going to happen? I don't know. But what I do know is I will be watching this 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, pre-market, post-market, the whole shebang-a-bang. All right? Because I'm not going to take a chance, not with this kind of money. Right? I've got tons of shares, and I have enough to where I take this thing very seriously. When this thing starts to really kick off, I'm probably going to quit my job, and I'm going to watch the stock into where I need it to go to, right? I'm going to quit everything. I'm going to put everything on hold, use all my sick leave, all my days until this is done, okay? I'm not taking on any more projects, any more clients. I'm strictly going to watch this stock during business hours, during market hours, and be done with this play. I'm going to watch it throughout the whole series, the whole time. And I'm going to be dynamic about my selling points, right? I feel in my gut, in my stomach, that there's enough velocity, enough of those shorts that are out there and enough shares that they have to buy back, that'll break 100,000. That's just my thing, right? The key to this, right, is not losing your mind and just panic selling during the squeeze because there's a some kind of anomaly or some kind of a stagnation in price climb. All right, that's what you have to be aware of, and I want you to be aware of it. But I don't want to take like some kind of consensus, like, well, how far do you think it'll go? And I don't know. I don't know, and I don't think anybody knows. I really don't, because this is new ground, right? We know we have our assumptions, right? We have our assumptions, but realistically, how does anybody really know how this is going to play out? I don't. I really don't. You know, I have certain numbers that I'm going to try to obtain. I keep those to myself because I don't want to be held responsible for somebody else. Somebody else, well, Al from Boston said, I don't want that on my conscience if something happens. I use several brokerages for this play just in case something happens. I rely on redundancy, right? I want a couple of different avenues of approach for this thing. So I maximize value, right? That's the thing about this. I maximize my value. And, you know, I can't tell you to do the same thing. You have your own prerogatives. I want you to just be smart about it and just think, how is this going to go? How is it going to go? How is it going to go? What could possibly happen? Are you going to be watching the stock at home? Are you going to be watching it on the computer? How are you going to be doing this? How are you going to execute your transactions? And what are you going to do as soon as you get paid, if you get paid on time or correctly? You know, have you thought about all the different ways this could go wrong? Remember how I told you I think about contingency planning, right? How many ways can this go wrong? You have to start focusing on those things and start writing them out and coming up with plans for those things. I cannot stress this enough. Nobody knows. Don't rely on me or anybody other YouTuber or anybody. You have to do this on your own, right? You have to make a determination that, hey, I feel as if half the retail community will hold for at least 100,000. Okay, great. I'll sell a little bit at 50,000. And then I'll wait the rest out at 100, and then I'll exit. Something to that effect. I'm just making something up. But it's those things that you have to be cognizant of. And then the institutions, of course, the institutional sellers, they're constantly monitoring and checking for sentiment for that number. What are the retail guys going to be holding onto? And if we give them a firm number and they're using sentiment analysis, they're going to exit out early. You know, I just have a feeling that they're going to be like, if we all say, oh, $1 million's our price, they're going to exit out at like 750 or something and then drop the price dramatically or some kind of treachery. They're always pulling some kind of stunt, but they have technology and they're constantly monitoring, right? So I want you to keep these things in mind, you guys, all right? You have to come up with your own bracket and whatever that is. If it's 100,000 above, great. Wonderful. If it's 100 to 200,000, 300,000, 400,000, whatever, so be it. If it's much lower and you want to get out quickly and be done with this play, you know, 5 to 10,000, you know, or follow somebody else. I don't know, but you have to be prepared for this, and you should write this thing out. Formulate what's called a game plan, like a war manual, if you will. How are you going to handle each different scenario? Write it out, articulate it in writing, and start coming up with ideas, because I'm telling you right now, if you don't war game this, something always happens. Let me tell you, I believe after fighting in 2 wars that Murphy's Law is always in effect, whether it be in a squeeze play, whether it be war fighting, whether it be me driving to Starbucks to get a cup of coffee. 10 different things could go wrong. Keep this in mind. Keep your head on a swivel and start thinking dynamically, because it's coming to the time where this is going to take off soon. And a lot of you guys are still asking questions that you should have learned back in January. You're just now getting around to it. Let me tell you, I don't know too many people that are going to sit there and try to entertain these questions. It's so far late in the game. It's like, what the hell is anyone even doing at this point? You know, go to Reddit, look at all the DD, think about all the DD that's accumulated, believe what you want and what is realistic, right? My DD has always remained the same, that there's more naked shorts and synthetic shorts they have to buy back than anything. And then the majority of the apes are going to hold. There's going to be 1, 2 groups, like little guys that, you know, not little guys, but not COVID, group of people that are going to try to exit out early in terms of getting their profit back and then just letting the quote ride. I understand that. All right. It's going to slow everything down though. and you should be aware of that. It's going to slow things down. It's going to take us even longer to get to those real high numbers. When people do that, it's going to slow us down. I'm not trying to browbeat you about it. I just want you to be aware of it. And of course, institutional sellers. Remember that list. There's tons of people that are selling during that time, and nobody knows how high it's going to go. So it's like they're doing their thing, we're doing our thing. Nobody knows. So be dynamic, keep your head on a swivel, and have a plan, and to get ready to execute that plan. So I hope you learned something. If you got some value out of this, please share it with your friends and your community. And Al from Boston signing out. Thank you so much for time. Bye.